So the dwarf, the elf, the wizard and the halfling has made a plan. The dwarf is going to open the trapdoor and peek inside. He has night vision for 60 feet. So if he can see a staircase going down, he will go down, followed by the elf. If there is no staircase, he will hold the halfling and lower the halfling down so he can take a look. The wizard and the halfling will stay upstairs if there is a staircase. And in the case of the halfling being held by his feet down into the room below, well, we will see what happens when we reveal what is underneath the trapdoor. You can also see one path leading straight forward that is going to the now dead fire that they saw earlier, and also to the right is a path that you presume will lead to the ruined castle. So let's see what is underneath the trapdoor. There is indeed a staircase leading down into something that looks like a cellar. It's fairly large. The dwarf can see in the first moments that it has a table, some bookcases, a lot of clutter down there. The wizard casts a spell of light. It has a range of 5 from where he's standing, so it will end up where you see the yellow die. And it illuminates 4 squares to every side of it. So basically from here and all the way up to here. So it lights up the room, but you can't see much. It's not a very bright light. So there are some shadows being cast, both by the staircase and also by the tables standing there. Seeing the staircase, the dwarf decides to move down together with the elf, following right behind. As the dwarf and the elf move slowly down, they try to listen to see if they can hear any noise or something that reveals that someone is inside. One of the first things they notice when they come down is the rope, which is hanging down from the ceiling. There is nothing attached to the rope, it's just hanging down to the floor. As they take a look around, they see tables, they see the bookshelves, and suddenly something moves behind them. Suddenly 2 goblins appear from their place of concealment underneath the staircase. No doubt they have heard the adventurers roaming around upstairs, and they have been hiding and waiting for them to go down. As it is, they have appeared from behind them and out of darkness. They get an attack of opportunity on our heroes. This goblin is going for the dwarf. The dwarf has a leather armor giving him a +2 bonus to his armor class. The base armor class is 10 for all, but he also has a dexterity bonus of 1. So it has the dwarf has a total armor class of 13. The goblin has a +4 on his attack roll. The goblin scores a 15, 16, which is enough to bypass the armor of the dwarf. The goblin does 1d4 damage with their small short swords, but since it's an attack of opportunity, they gain 1 extra damage. The other goblin is attacking the elf, gets the same bonus, but the elf, however, has a very high dexterity, so he has an armor class of 16. So the goblin also has a +4 on his attack, needing a 12 to score a hit. That is an 8, meaning that goblin misses the elf. So let's see what happens with the damage to the dwarf. The dwarf takes 1d4 plus 1 damage. And that is a 1 plus 1, so 2 damage. It's the beginning of the first actual combat round, and we roll for initiative. Starting with the goblin in the lower left, he has a +3 bonus to his initiative, scoring an 11. We are going for the elf, which has a +4 on its initiative, going for 8. Then we have the dwarf with a +1 initiative, giving him 3. So far it's the goblin, the elf, the dwarf, and then we have the second goblin. So with the score of an 11, both the goblins go first, then we have the dwarf, then we have the elf, and then we have the dwarf. And of course, do not forget these guys that are inside the Hunter's Lodge, although they will need one turn to get down to the others and join their friends. So plan your moves. You can see your grid. You can have up to 6 inches or 6 squares of movement. But remember, if you walk away from someone you are adjacent to, you give them an attack of opportunity.